Hey, what's up everybody? Nola Deach here, and I'm coming to you from New Orleans, Louisiana, specifically Cypress Grove Cemetery, because there's something inside that I really need to show you. Come check this out with me. Right on the corner of City Park Avenue and Canal is Cypress Grove Cemetery, also known as Fireman Cemetery, for a specific reason. Cypress Grove was built in 1838 for volunteer firemen in the city of New Orleans to have a place to be laid to rest. And after it was built, about a year or two later, any other volunteer firemen that were buried outside of this particular cemetery, their remains were moved here. And flanking the entrance here on either side are the monuments to the firemen. And over here is the tomb for the Eagle Fire Company number 7. Dating back to what looks like 1859. But this would be at least one of the monuments for the firefighters buried here in Cypress Grove. So here's another one here. This one says, "Sacred to the memory of departed firemen." And it lists the names dating all the way back to 1836. And check out the old-time fire engine there. That's pretty cool. Over here is the Philadelphia Fire Engine Company number 14. And this one you can see it says, "To our departed members." And it's got some names. It's kind of hard to read on the sides here. I'm sure you've heard of Tabasco sauce, but did you know the famous brand wasn't the first to use the Tabasco chili pepper? A man by the name of Mon-Sol, an Irish immigrant, owned several plantations south of New Orleans. He was a businessman, politician, farmer, and a captain during the War of 1812. But he especially liked to grow peppers. He was the one that actually introduced the Tabasco chili to the country. It's thought that he received the seeds from a soldier returning from the Mexican-American War sometime in 1847. He began growing the pepper plants soon after and created a Tabasco pepper sauce, which he sold but never marketed. It was later marketed and sold by his family after he passed away up until the late 1800s. In 1868, Edmund McIlhenny created his own Tabasco pepper sauce, and the rest is history. Nobody knows for sure if McIlhenny got the peppers and recipe from Mon-Sol or not. Mon-Sol died in 1863 and was buried right here in Cypress Grove Cemetery. And here it is, the tomb of Mon-Sol. That's pretty big. Very beautiful tomb. You can see right down there on the side, a little plaque denoting that he's a War of 1812 veteran. Colonel Mon-Sol, born 1781, died 1863. And there's a few other people in here with him. His wife, Heloise Delarond. And I actually did a video on the Delarond plantation ruins a while back. That's the family that she was a part of. But there's Mon-Sol's section right there. A native of Ireland, died 17 December 1863. He was 80 years old. Wow. Check out this eerie looking area here with the tree growing over the tombs and the old rusted iron fence here with the roots growing out, kind of taking over the area here. This is like out of a horror movie almost. Wow. And just over here you can see it looked like there was another tree growing in between these tombs here, and it is actually opened up one of them. Oh my goodness. I'm not sure what's going on here with these parts of a tomb, or look like maybe a column at some point. I'm not sure. Maybe these items here were sitting on top of this. That's got to be what it is. It looks like maybe these were resting on top of these big round column pieces here, and they've since fallen over and are just rusting along the side now of this old tomb. It belongs to Joshua James. No date, just a name. It's one of the things about coming to these old cemeteries is you see some tombs and graves that are in actually pretty decent shape, but then you come across the ones like that obviously time has taken over and just they've withered away, whether it be because of weather or just old age, who knows. Walking along here, this is pretty cool looking. You got the oak tree, I believe that's an oak tree, looming over these tombs here. Wow, that's a big old tree. Check that out. It looks like part of it's been cut off at some point in time. The rest of it's just growing over the rest of this part of the cemetery here. Makes for a very eerie backdrop. So all along the back wall here, you've got this mausoleum that kind of surrounds this part of the cemetery, and this is the outer border of the cemetery. This looks pretty old. This is probably when this place was first built. This was put here. You can see a lot of the people buried here was late 1800s, early 1900s. And even this isn't in that great a shape. Some of them are either empty or have lost their plaques, like this one here sitting down on the ground. They probably over the years have fallen over and cracked and crumbled, and then leaving behind just an unknown person. Looks as if this weeping angel here has lost her head and even part of her wing, but you can see that it's made just out of concrete here and I guess painted. What a shame. I wonder where the head went. I wonder if it's amongst these rocks here of all the same color. This gentleman here, George Hawk, was a World War II veteran. Died in 1977. Now this is cool. Check this cross out on the headstone here. It's got some little shards of colored glass in there to kind of make it look a little bit more reflective and pretty. This one's pretty to come across. They've got some nice pretty red mulch in here. Just kind of makes it stand out a little bit more and look pretty. And the folks in here died in 1896 and then in 1900. Some of these trees have the Spanish moss hanging down and just makes it for a much more picturesque backdrop for these tombs. Very pretty. Check out this massive tree here. You can tell this tree has been here for quite some time, with the Spanish moss hanging off of it, looking over the graves here. Love to know how old this tree is. This tree's probably been here, I'd say, for a few hundred years. Wow. Here's somebody here, William Stevens. He was a private in the United States Army for World War I. Died in 1977. And then also buried with him, August Mendoza Sr., Private First Class U.S. Army, World War II, died in 1988. Check out this tree behind the tombs here on the other side of the fence of this cemetery. This beautiful headpiece that says "At Rest" at the top, and then this creepy looking old tree just hanging out back there. This one's pretty neat with the stones surrounding the tomb here on it itself and surrounding the little piece of the property that it sits on. Dating back to 1930. G.O.B. Mead, a native of England. Very beautiful. Check this one out with the chains around the fence here. And this one dates back to 1820. There's an in-ground grave. You don't see too many of these here. And it looks like there's no name, no date, just what's left of the border. And I assume somebody's buried in there. I don't know. But no information on it. Some flowers, but that probably flew over here in the wind. Curious. If you look at the end there, it looks like there used to be some kind of little stone or whatever, and there's pieces of it sitting in here as well. There's a grave of a little child. You can see the little toys in there. Andrew Wesley Newbrough died 1937, beloved son of Nerita and Joseph. That's sad. Was only 1 year old, not even a year old. Very sad. This is neat. Somebody's come out here and left little painted rocks. There's one right here too. That's really pretty. This old one. No date on it because the little plaque is falling off. This one looks very different than the rest. It's got a rounded top to it. It looks like most of the stuff that would decorate it has all been broken up. There's this rusted iron looking tree in the front here with no explanation for it. Not entirely sure what that's supposed to represent. These two massive tombs here, very elaborate, very big in size here. Oh my goodness. And surely you can see the comparison in size between me and these things behind me. These things are pretty big and elaborate. Just goes to show you, if you got the money to build your final resting place, might as well do it. Do it in style. Everybody will remember you forever. They come to the cemetery and see your big, huge monument to your family. I'm all for it. If you're able to afford that, go ahead, why not? A Chinese cemetery here. This whole little section just for the Chinese. Looks like it was built in 1904. And inside it is the mausoleum with all the different sections. Interesting there. It looks like there's a heater built into the wall back there. I guess for family members that want to come in here and be with their lost one, they can sit in here, and if it's cold, maybe light a fire in there. I'm not entirely sure what that's all about. Look at this one here. The big old cross on the top of it. Very beautiful, interesting design. I can't read. Looks like maybe 1827. Kind of hard to read that one. But sitting here is a thing of peanuts. I'm not sure if that is left there in memory of the family member, or if that's just somebody that Maybe it was here that brought that with him and left it there on accident. I don't know. So all along this wall here are some more areas to be buried in, but I'm curious about this little gate here. And I'm assuming it's just to have access up there to take proper care of this area, maybe to cut down the weeds a little bit or whatever. It looks like it's been filled in. Like maybe this could have been opened at one point, but it's been filled in, so you can't open it anymore. It is permanent. I like anything that's got these rusted iron fences around them. It's really pretty. Here's one that looks like the iron fences started falling down. In fact, there's pieces of it right there. This poor tomb has seen better days, I'm sure. This one here is a very large statue up on top of an angel placing a wreath on a cross. So check this one out. This one looks like it's all made out of iron. The fencing and the tomb itself. But check this out. Right down there at the bottom. See this like fish body with a lion face on it. Weird. Not a lot of information on it except the date on it says 1844 and the name says Leeds. Huh. Interesting. Well, that's going to do it for today. I want to thank you for watching. If you like this video, make sure you click the like button. And also, if you want to see more videos, click the subscribe button. I post videos quite often. Come check them out. Thanks for watching. Hope you enjoyed a little lanyap from this hoodat out here at Cypress Grove Cemetery. Go pass a good time.